Hey everyone! In this video, we'll uncover the most valuable USA silver Washington quarter dollar you should be on the lookout for. We'll break down what makes these silver Washington quarter dollars so special, how much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction, so let's get started. First up, the 1980 USA silver-colored Washington quarter dollar coin, with the P mint mark, is a fascinating and nostalgic piece for coin collectors and history enthusiasts. While it looks like a silver coin, it's important to remember that quarters minted after 1964 were no longer struck in real silver. Instead, they were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, consisting of a pure copper core sandwiched between two layers of copper-nickel alloy. The silver-like shine comes from the nickel surface, which gives the coin its bright metallic appearance. The P mint mark, located to the right of George Washington's ponytail on the obverse side, represents the Philadelphia Mint, which produced hundreds of millions of these coins in 1980. On the front of this 1980 quarter, you'll find the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. Above his head is the word Liberty, and to the left appears the motto, "In God We Trust." The year 1980 is engraved just below Washington's bust. The reverse side features a beautifully detailed American bald eagle with wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows in its talons, symbolizing the country's readiness to defend its freedom. Below the eagle are olive branches, representing peace. The inscriptions, United States of America, a pluribus unum, and quarter dollar frame the eagle, giving the coin a balanced and proud design that has stood the test of time. Your coin is described as being in dirty condition with some scratches. This means it has likely circulated for many years, collecting dirt and small abrasions along the way. In numismatic terms, this condition typically falls under the fine or very good category, depending on the level of wear. Coins in fine condition show noticeable wear on high points, but most design details are still visible. For your 1980 P quarter, this might mean that Washington's hairlines and the eagle's feathers appear smooth or flattened, and the fields of the coin, the flat areas, have small marks or dullness from handling and friction. While this condition doesn't make the coin rare, it still holds a special place in a collection because of its historical context and vintage look. The 1980 P Washington quarter had a large mintage of over 635 million coins, making it one of the more common dates from the series. Because of this high production and the absence of silver content, its base value in the collector's market remains close to its face value. In today's auction market, a 1980 P quarter in dirty, fine condition with scratches typically sells for around $0. Coins that are cleaned or polished generally do not increase in value, since collectors prefer original surfaces, even if they appear dull or aged. However, uncirculated or mint-state examples, those that have never been used in everyday transactions, can sell for anywhere between $3 and $25 depending on their grade. Luster and eye appeal. Rare minting errors, however, can dramatically increase the value of a 1980 P Washington quarter. Collectors seek out coins with doubled die errors, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or those accidentally struck on a different metal plancher. A double die variety will show a noticeable doubling of letters, numbers, or details of Washington's portrait. Off-center or broad-struck coins have uneven rims or missing parts of the design due to misalignment during minting. These types of errors can sell for anywhere from $20 to several $100s, depending on the type and prominence of the mistake. It's always worth examining your coin carefully or consulting a numismatic expert to check for such details. Even though your 1980 P Washington quarter in dirty condition may not have high monetary value, it still carries meaningful historical significance. The 1980s marked a period when U.S. coinage reflected the country's economic stability and consistent minting standards. Philadelphia's use of the P mint mark on quarters began just a year earlier, in 1980, making your coin among the first regular-issue quarters from that mint to bear this identifying mark. That fact alone gives the coin a small but interesting place in American coin history. For collectors, the story behind each coin adds to its charm. The wear, scratches, and even the dirt on your coin are physical reminders of its long journey through decades of transactions, perhaps spent on everyday items like groceries or gasoline during the 1980s, a time of significant economic and cultural change in the United States. Next up, the 1966 USA silver-colored Washington quarter-dollar coin without a mint mark is an interesting piece that reflects a major transition period in American coinage. Although it appears silver, this coin does not contain any actual silver content. Beginning in 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped using 90% silver in circulating quarters and switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition due to rising silver prices. Your 1966 quarter, therefore, is made of a copper core layered between two outer surfaces of copper-nickel alloy, giving it the same silver-like appearance as its earlier counterparts, but without the intrinsic metal value. The absence of a mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks on quarters during this time. Your coin is described as being in good condition with some scratches. In numismatic terms, good condition generally means the coin has heavy wear, with major details worn smooth, but the main design still identifiable. On your 1966 quarter, you might notice Washington's hair and face are quite worn down, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse side appear flat or faint. The scratches mentioned are typical for circulated coins, often caused by contact with other coins in pockets, drawers, or counting machines over the years. While such marks reduce collector value slightly, they do not erase the historical significance of the coin. The 1966 Washington quarter had an extremely high mintage. Over 821 million pieces were produced at the Philadelphia Mint alone. Because of this large number, the coin is not considered rare or scarce in circulation today. In the current auction market, a 1966 Washington quarter in good condition with some scratches typically sells for around $0.25. Its face value to about 0.70. Banners. Coins in better grades, such as very fine or extremely fine condition, can sometimes sell for $1 to $2, while uncirculated examples with full luster and minimal marks may reach $5 to $10. Coins graded in mint state, MS65 or higher, by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can occasionally bring $20 or more, especially if they exhibit strong eye appeal or sharp details. There are, however, some special varieties and minting errors from the mid-1960s that collectors seek, and these can significantly increase the coin's value. During 1965-1967, the U.S. Mint did not use mint marks on any coins to discourage coin hoarding caused by the shift away from silver. This period also saw several experimental and transitional errors. One of the most famous types is the 1965-1966 quarter struck on a leftover 90% silver planche from 1964. If a 1966 quarter were found to be made of silver instead of the standard copper-nickel clad, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Additionally, minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on defective planches can sell from $25 up to several $100s, depending on rarity and condition. If you want to check whether your 1966 quarter might be a silver error coin, a simple test is to weigh it. A regular clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, while a genuine 90% silver quarter weighs approximately 6.25 grams. Using a precise scale can help determine if your coin might be a rare silver planche strike, in which case professional authentication by PCGS or NGC would be essential before selling. Even if your coin doesn't have an error, it still tells a fascinating story about America's economy and coin production in the 1960s. The decision to remove silver from coins marked a new chapter in U.S. monetary policy, one that reflected the balance between metal value and purchasing power. Each 1966 quarter represents this transition, a bridge between the silver era and modern coinage. If you plan to auction your coin, honesty and presentation are key. Take clear, close-up photos of both sides, showing the details and the absence of a mint mark. Describe it accurately as a 1966 Washington quarter, Philadelphia mint, in good condition with some scratches. List it on popular coin auction platforms such as eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections, where collectors often look for affordable coins to complete their Washington quarter sets. Even though it may sell for only $0.25 to $1, the coin's historical context can make it appealing to enthusiasts who appreciate its place in the evolution of U.S. currency. Next up, the 1979 USA silver-colored Washington quarter-dollar coin with the P mint mark is a striking example of late 20th century American coinage. Although it appears silver, this coin is not made from real silver. By 1979, the U.S. Mint had long since transitioned to the copper-nickel-clad composition, which had been introduced in 1965. The outer layers are made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This composition gives the coin its bright, silvery color while maintaining durability for daily circulation. The P mint mark, located just to the right of George Washington's ponytail on the obverse side, indicates that the coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. Your coin is described as being in extra fine condition with some scratches. In numismatic grading, extra fine, often abbreviated as XF or EF, means the coin shows only light wear on the highest points, with most details remaining sharp and distinct. On your 1979 P quarter, Washington's hairline details and facial features should still be clearly visible, with only slight smoothness on the cheek and jaw. The eagle's wings, feathers, and arrows on the reverse will also show solid definition. The few scratches you mentioned are normal for a circulated coin and do not drastically affect its appeal unless they are deep or disfiguring. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 515 million tidy-use Washington quarters in 1979, so this coin is not considered rare. Because of the large mintage and the lack of silver content, most 1979 P quarters in circulated grades hold modest value. In today's auction market, a 1979 P Washington quarter in extra fine condition with some scratches generally sells for around $0.25 to $1. Coins in slightly higher grades, such as about uncirculated or low mint state, may reach $2 to $3. Fully uncirculated examples with bright luster and no noticeable marks can fetch between $5 and $15, depending on eye appeal and strike quality. Professional graded mint state, MS65 or higher, coins sometimes sell for $20 to $50 or more at coin shows or online auctions if they exhibit exceptional surfaces. However, certain rare minting errors can significantly increase the value of a 1979 P quarter. Collectors are particularly interested in varieties such as double-die obverse coins, where letters or details appear doubled, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong metal planche. These minting mistakes are highly collectible and can sell for $25 to several $100s, depending on the clarity and uniqueness of the error. For example, a 1979 P quarter struck off-center or with a partial missing rim can easily attract attention from serious collectors. It's always wise to inspect your coin carefully under magnification, or show it to a coin expert to see if any unusual features are present. The 1979 main pointers 79p quarter also holds historical value beyond its face worth. This was a time of economic fluctuation in the U.S., and the coin represents a period when everyday change began to shift away from precious metals toward modern clad compositions. For collectors, it's an important part of the Washington Quarter series, which ran with the eagle reverse design from 1932 until 1998, before being replaced by the 50-state quarters program in 1999. Even though your coin shows some scratches, the extra fine grade means it retains plenty of visual appeal. The luster might be partially visible in protected areas of the design, such as around Washington's hair or the eagle's body. Many collectors appreciate this level of preservation because it shows both age and character, proving that the coin circulated but was well cared for over time. If you plan to sell your coin, presentation matters. Take clear, close-up photos of both sides, showing the P mint mark and date clearly. When listing it for sale, describe it honestly as a 1979 P Washington Quarter, extra fine condition, with minor scratches. Buyers looking to fill a slot in their quarter album or build a date and mint set often look for coins in this exact condition. You can list your coin on auction platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections, where everyday coins with solid detail still attract steady interest. Next up, the 1982 USA silver-colored Washington Quarter dollar coin with the D mint mark is a classic and well-recognized coin among collectors of modern U.S. currency. Despite its bright, silvery appearance, this coin does not actually contain silver. By 1982, the U.S. Mint had been producing quarters in a copper-nickel-clad composition for nearly 2 decades. This means the coin is made with a pure copper core sandwiched between 2 layers of copper-nickel alloy, giving it a durable, silver-like shine. The D mint mark, located just to the right of George Washington's ponytail on the obverse side, indicates that your coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Your coin is described as being in very fine condition with some scratches. In numismatic terms, very fine VF condition means the coin has moderate wear, but still retains most of its design details. For a 1982 D Washington Quarter in this grade, you can expect to see clear outlines of Washington's facial features and hair, though some of the finer lines may appear smoothed. The eagle on the reverse side will show noticeable wear on the feathers and wings, but most details remain visible. The minor scratches you mentioned are typical for coins that have circulated for many years and usually don't affect the overall collectability, unless they are deep or distracting. The year 1982 was notable for a few changes in U.S. coin production. That year, the Mint stopped producing uncirculated coin sets for collectors, which means that most 1982 22 quarters found today were circulated. Because of this, finding well-preserved, uncirculated examples can be more challenging compared to other dates from the same era. The 1982 D Washington Quarter had a large mintage of approximately 480 million coins, so it is not considered rare. However, its historical context and limited collector sets make it more interesting to numismatists. In today's auction market, 1982 Washington Quarter in very fine condition with some scratches generally sells for around $0 CT 25 to $1. Coins in better condition, such as extremely fine, XF or about, uncirculated AU may bring $2 to $3, while uncirculated examples with strong mint luster can sell for $5 to $15. Professionally graded mint state examples, MS65 or higher, by services like PCGS or NGC sometimes sell for $25 to $50 or more, especially if the coin shows strong details and minimal marks. While most 1982 D quarters are common, there are certain varieties and minting errors that can make one much more valuable. Collectors actively look for double die obverse or reverse varieties, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planche, for example, on a 5-cent or foreign coin blank. An off-center strike or double die error can sell for $25 to several $100s, depending on the visibility and rarity of the mistake. Coins struck on experimental or leftover silver planches, although extremely rare, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, if verified by a professional grading service. To check for potential errors or varieties, you can examine your coin closely under magnification. Look for signs of doubling in the lettering or design, or any irregularities around the edges. If anything looks unusual, consider consulting a reputable coin dealer or sending the coin to a professional grading service for authentication. Even though your coin is not made of real silver and may have some wear and scratches, it still carries a story that connects it to American history. The 1982 Washington Quarter represents a time of economic transition and modernization in U.S. minting. The design of George Washington, unaltered for decades, symbolizes continuity and patriotism through changing times. If you plan to sell your 1982 D quarter, presentation matters. Take clear, close-up photographs of both sides, showing the D mint mark and year. Describe it accurately as 1982 D Washington Quarter, very fine condition, with some scratches. Honest descriptions help attract genuine collectors who appreciate accuracy and transparency. You can list it on auction platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, or Great Collections, where even circulated coins in decent condition often find buyers looking to complete date and mint sets. Next up, the 1985 USA silver-colored Washington quarter dollar coin with the D mint mark is a classic representation of late 20th century American coinage. Although it appears silver in color, this coin is not made of real silver. By 1985, U.S. quarters were struck from a copper-nickel-clad composition, an inner core of pure copper layered with an alloy of copper and nickel on both sides. This combination gives the coin its distinctive silvery appearance, while making it durable enough for everyday use. The D mint mark on your coin, found to the right of George Washington's ponytail, indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint. Your coin is described as being in fine condition with some scratches. In coin grading terms, fine condition, often abbreviated as F, means the coin has moderate to heavy wear from circulation, but the main details of the design are still clearly visible. On your 1985 D quarter, Washington's portrait will show noticeable flattening on the hair and cheek, while the eagle's feathers on the reverse may appear smooth and less detailed. The scratches you mentioned are common on coins that have circulated for many years, usually caused by contact with other coins, pockets, or counting machines. Even with these marks, the coin still holds its collectible and historical value, especially when it's over 40 years old. The 1985 D Washington quarter had a very large mintage. Approximately 520 million coins were struck at the Denver Mint that year. Because of this high production number and the absence of silver content, it is considered a common coin. In today's auction market, a mid-1985 D quarter in fine condition with some scratches typically sells for around $0.25 to $1. Coins in better condition, such as very fine or extra fine grades, can sell for $1 to $3, while uncirculated examples with bright original luster may bring $5 to $15 depending on eye appeal. Professionally graded coins in Mint State 65, MS65, or higher can sometimes sell for $25 to $50 at auction, particularly if they display sharp details and minimal marks. While most 1985 D quarters are common, certain error varieties can be quite valuable. Collectors often look for rare minting mistakes such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong metal planche. A doubled die coin will show overlapping or shadowed details on the lettering or portrait, while an off-center strike will have part of the design missing or misaligned. These error coins can sell for $25 to several $100s, depending on the rarity and condition. Additionally, a few 1985 quarters have been found struck on experimental or foreign planchets, which can be worth hundreds or even thousands if authenticated by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, even though your 1985 D quarter, in fine condition, may not hold significant monetary value. It remains a meaningful part of the Washington Quarter series. The 1980s were a period of strong U.S. coin production, reflecting both technological progress at the mint and the country's economic stability. The Washington design, used from 1932 until 1998, connects coins like yours to more than 6 decades of American history. Every circulated coin tells a small story of the people and times it passed through, perhaps used for a cup of coffee, a payphone call, or a parking meter in its day. For collectors, presentation and honesty in description are key when selling coins. If you choose to auction your 1985 D Washington Quarter, take clear photographs of both sides, showing the D mint mark and the year clearly. Note that the coin is in fine condition with some scratches, and that it is a copper nickel-clad coin, not silver. Many collectors appreciate honest listings, especially when looking to fill specific date and mint slots in their quarter albums. You can sell your coin on popular platforms such as eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections. While it may sell for around 25 to $1, its real value lies in its place within American coinage history. It serves as a tangible reminder of a time when quarters were widely used in everyday transactions, before digital payments became common. In conclusion, your 1985 D Washington Quarter in fine condition with some scratches typically holds a market value of about 0.9 2020 out to 20.5 to $1 in today's auctions. Though not rare or made of silver, it remains a fascinating collectible that reflects the heritage of U.S. coin production and the enduring image of George Washington. Its design continues to symbolize liberty, strength, and national pride. Even with signs of wear, your coin stands as a small yet meaningful piece of American history. Proof that every coin, no matter how ordinary it may seem, carries a story worth remembering.